Premier League is counting down until the end. We have less than 10 game weeks at this point. Round 30 is just around the corner, and we've got lots of exciting games coming up this weekend. Victor, we're starting with Bournemouth here, and they have drawn their last 3 consecutive Premier League games. But do you think they'll be able to return to winning ways against Burnley?
I don't think so. I've actually backed draw or Burnley win in our prediction show. It's not that Bournemouth are a bad team, but they are just not inspiring a ton of confidence at the moment. Look, even if they don't make Europe, can anyone really say that they've had a genuinely bad season? They lost their goalie and 3 starting defenders last summer, along with their star player in January. I don't think this can qualify as a bad season. But there's something about this game against Burnley that rubs me the wrong way, and it has to do with the odds. So if you want to hear about that, go to our predictions video and have a look there.
Yeah, fair shout. And over to you, Max. Only 3 points separate Brighton and Sunderland. But which side is better placed to win this game?
I mean, if you just look strictly at the form for Sunderland at home and Brighton on road, it kind of feels like Sunderland is a favorite, especially because the fact that Brighton last time won on road against Sunderland was 45 years ago. But it's kind of complicated for me because if you look at the recent results overall for Sunderland, they even lost to Port Vale. So I'd say I don't really see Sunderland as a favorite, and I'd say that Brighton most likely are not losing. But for me, it looks like more or less a scoring draw.
A score draw. Interesting take. And Victor, moving over to the top of the table, the bookmakers have Arsenal as overwhelming favourites to win against Everton. But given their shaky performances of late, do you think there's a potential of an upset here?
I'll refer you to our prediction show again, where I gave a stay away warning about this one, right? Absolutely. On paper, Arsenal are the favorites. But after that trip to Germany, not going anywhere close to the way they would have wanted it to, I think there's a big opportunity here for Everton to exploit. Arsenal have a Tuesday game in the UCL now that will arguably be more important than the Everton one, regardless of obviously what Arteta might say in the pre-match presser. Now, a draw would not be a catastrophe for Arsenal. They are 7 points clear at the top after all, but what would be a catastrophe is going out of the Champions League against Leverkusen. That is what they need to avoid.
Fair point. And back to you, Max. Both Newcastle and Chelsea are coming off midweek fixtures, and in the league, they only have 2 wins in their last 5 league games. 2 questions here. What kind of fixture are we expecting here, and which side is more likely to win, in your opinion?
Well, the fixture itself, it kind of feels like both teams would rotate a bit maybe, and also I don't expect a lot of goals here, but obviously you see that Chelsea are unbeaten at home for 5, but when I look at the opponents, there was Burnley, Leeds, West Ham, Paphos, and Brentford. It doesn't really count for me, and for the Newcastle, for example, they did beat Tottenham. It's Tottenham, Aston Villa as well, played not that bad against City, so I kind of expect an upset here, and I do back Newcastle maybe even to win, because they played their UCL game one day earlier, and they didn't need to fly to other country, so they stayed at England. So for me, Newcastle are kind of favorites here, and I'm pretty certain they're not losing.
Interesting. Pretty certain they ain't losing. Anyways, back to you, Victor. Crystal Palace have looked better of late with 3 wins in their last 5 league games. Will they be able to power through Leeds at home?
Oof. Do Palace ever really power through anyone? We are recording this ahead of the Conference League match against Larnaca, and I think the result of that will definitely influence how Glasner approaches the Leeds match. Just like how it is for Liverpool and Arsenal, for instance. Everybody's going to tweak because of the upcoming midweek games. Leeds, on the road, they've been absolutely indifferent, batting 500, 6 draws in the last 10 trips, along with 2 wins and 2 losses. It's the perfect neutral record, but it's also better than what Palace have been doing at home. I can see a draw here. Palace have bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, fair point. It looks well placed for a draw, but I mean, this is the Premier League. Anything can happen, really. We're just going to have to wait and see how all these fixtures progress, because there are still more games happening around 30 that we'll be discussing in another video.